Welcome to the Let's Talk About Love, Sex, and Infidelity podcast with your host, Todd Creager. Todd has over 35 years of experience working with thousands of couples as a licensed therapist in his private practice. Todd shares his insights on this show. It's never too early to divorce-proof your marriage or too late to heal yourselves and have the relationship you truly want.
So what does it look like when a person who betrayed is becoming trustworthy? This is an issue that I think is very important when I'm working with my people who have been trying to heal from infidelity. What does it look like? Here this person was that you thought was honest and faithful, and then you discover that he betrayed you or she betrayed you, and it disrupts your whole stability of your relationship, of your life, of your perception of who your partner is, maybe on some level even of who you are. But so when do you know when this person is safe? You thought this person was safe before, and you found out that person wasn't safe. You got blindsided. Probably, I hear this all the time. I never thought my partner would be capable of doing that all the time. So how does this person demonstrate that they've truly grown and they've truly become a safe person to partner with? It's a very important question. What does it look like? What does it sound like? And so it comes back to what makes people cheat in the first place, right? If you go to a doctor with a physical issue, you're not sure where it's coming from, they have to really do a little bit of a deep dive. Maybe they do an X-ray, an MRI, or a CAT scan, or whatever they do, and they learn about what's really going on. Infidelity is no different of different symptom, but it's a symptom like any kind of physical symptom. It's a symptom. It's a symptom of something else. And we need to understand what would make somebody do that, right? So that's the first step, because if we know what makes a person do what they do, then at least it gives us an idea of what they got to do so they don't do it again. In my travels with my couples that continue to inspire me as they heal, I've learned a lot about what makes people cheat, and also what does it look like when couples are healing, and what a betrayed person becomes trustworthy. And we get right into it. There can be many factors of why people cheat, and I'm not going to sit here and say that it's simple. It's not. There is temptation, that we have human nature, and we have a nature that is quite capable of getting self-absorbed and acting selfish. Yes. But I have found that even though that is true, those that cheat have not learned how to regulate their emotions in a way that would make them safe to their partner. The infidelity always is about regulating one's energy, either down or up. I've said this many times. I got to say it here again. Of course, regulating down is when you go from a stressed state, more stressed state, to a less stressed state. That's regulating down. Some people, they use the infidelity as some kind of way to do that, maybe to escape stress, escape responsibility, whatever. The other, maybe more common, but they're both there. They're both reasons. The other one is upregulating, where you go from a less alive state to a more alive state, to a bored state to a more excited state, right? Now, that is definitely something that we all do all the time. We're constantly trying to get into that window where our energy is not too stressed, but not dead into depressed. We want to feel alive, but not stressed. We do things to help us regulate. So people that cheat, and this is like a little forecasting of what I'm about to get into of what it looks like when a person who cheated is now safer. Okay, I'm never going to say there's a 100% guarantee, but there's a point with my clients where it's a very high probability that person will not cheat. What does that look like? And so when a person is using infidelity to feel more alive, I oftentimes look at their lives in the past, even their childhood, and they might not have learned healthy ways to upregulate. Or maybe somewhere along the way, they didn't have role models of healthy parents so that upregulate each other well. And so the person ends up getting into a relationship is no fault of their partner where they're just not regulating up. Many people who cheat are not upregulated because their heart's not open. They're not good at receiving love and care. Maybe they came from homes where there was some sort of lack of emotional tuning into them. And so they learn to kind of solve their problems on their own. They have what some of us will call an avoidance attachment style. And then they don't really learn to let a partner, or intimate partner, make them feel good. They're just like soloists. A person like that might be prone to getting upregulated by a stranger or an old girlfriend or someone they meet on the internet or some coworker. They're not committed to that person. So the person is like a stimulant, like a drug in a way, and gets them feeling more alive because they don't know how to feel more alive with their partner. I see this a lot. So if that's the case, what does it look like for a person who cheated to suddenly be safer? What you find is this person is learning to enjoy their partner more. They're learning to depend in a healthy way on their partner more. They are more open with their partner. They let their partner support them and care for them. They learn to put energy into their partner and slow down with their partner so that they can enjoy their partner and be upregulated by them. And downregulation too, they share their pain and they let their partner be there to help them soothe. They ask for hugs, especially when they've had a bad day, let's say a work day that was challenging. But it starts to look like the person who betrayed is opening up more to you, is in a healthy way depending more on you, asking things of you, as well, of course, as giving to you, making you a priority. I have someone I'm thinking of right now who cheated on his wife for many years, multiple infidelities. And this really pertains to people that cheated once or multiple times. But he learned, and as I'm thinking of him, I thought of a second man. Because they're both similar in this way. They both learned how to really enjoy their partner in the bedroom and out of the bedroom. I remember the second person I just thought of, I remember him saying to me alone, but also in front of his wife, my wife is amazing. And I never fully allowed myself to enjoy her. So that's what it looks like. It looks like a person who's getting more out of the relationship because they're being more open and they're being closer. Without a more open, transparent relationship where the person isn't enjoying him more, then there's no him or her more. There's no real barometer of, why am I safer with you? A lot of times people miss that. And the person who's betrayed might be having a hard time letting go of their protection. To protect themselves from getting hurt, they may not even want to see their partner is changing, even though when they start paying attention, they go, wow, you are connecting more with me, you're tuning into more with me, you're asking me, you're initiating sex more, you're asking me to go on dates more, whatever the case may be. You seem to enjoy me. Those are the things you're looking for. That's what it looks like, really. Because it is all about emotional regulation, energy regulation, and you see your partner being uplifted as well as soothed by you more. That is, to me, the key. That is the pivot that you, and when you're watching for it, you know that change is real. I'm not talking about doing it once in a while. That you start to see in a pretty more consistent way that your relationship dynamics have shifted, where the person who betrayed you is more open, more connected, more of a receiver, as well as a giver. So I just wanted to say that's what it looks like. And I've seen it happen. I've seen many people who betrayed learn to regulate differently, and they just don't even have the urge to cheat. They might go, oh, this person is attractive, but they dismiss it because where their heart is and where their commitment is in their partner, it's their partner that they use to regulate their nervous system, as well as they regulate their partners both up and down, both to be more alive and to be less stressed. That's what we're looking for. That's the kind of relationship that succeeds and thrives. Thanks for listening. This is Todd Creager, making the world safe for love.
That's it for today's episode of Let's Talk About Love, Sex, and Infidelity podcast with your host, Todd Creager. For free resources and materials, head over to toddcreager.com. Loved this episode? Head over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and leave a review. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.